Hey, y'all, watch this.
Welcome to another episode of the Jersey String Band Podcast. I'm your host, Alex, co-host,
Captain Pat Walton.
and our very special guest today is...
Susan Hallowell, a.k.a. Susan the Clarinet.
Oh, clarinet.
Clarinet, yes, that's how she texts me. And whenever she texts me at the end, it's Susan Clarinet, except for the time she was playing tenor. She put clarinet, now playing tenor.
Well, I'll always be Susan the Clarinet. I want to thank you guys for having me on this podcast because it's special and I really appreciate it. It's kind of an honor for me. I know you've interviewed several other members, but I'm kind of a newbie to the group, although we've had some people join since me. But, I just have a very different perspective I really wanted to share with you guys about my perspective on this string band and my feelings about it.
Very cool.
So you probably have questions, but what you don't know is...
Well...
Okay, you going to sign up with the story?
Go ahead, yeah, do your thing.
This is your podcast.
Okay.
This is what it's about. We want to learn...
We want to know your story.
You're going to hear my story. So
We don't want to start like at birth. We want to
we
start...
are starting at birth. I was born in 1952, so that makes me 71 going on 72. The only reason I mention this is because when I was growing up, there was only 3 TV stations you could get, right?
No YouTube?
No YouTube. I grew up in Baltimore, so that means I'm a Baltimorean, by the way.
Baltimore.
I'm a Baltimorean, hun. I'm Baltimorean. But we could get 3 stations, 11, 13, and 2. However, I discovered I could get UHF, so I could get Washington, D.C., Channel 20, and sometimes I could get Channel 17 from Philadelphia. Why is this important? I discovered string bands on New Year's Day from UHF from Philadelphia. And I was absolutely fascinated by this as a little girl. I mean, it was just plain wonderful. I mean, for me, string bands on New Year's Day in Philadelphia was actually better than the Macy's Parade because it was music and people having fun and outrageous costumes. And Philadelphia was a very glamorous place. Of course, I was born moron. So
We'll forgive you for that.
They're both very glamorous still.
yeah, they're both
They
very-
got 2 really good baseball teams right now.
it's a funny thing. I just got back. Now we're going into another story. I
ahead.
just got back from Ireland, and oh man, I was over there for a conference, and apparently there's a YouTube of Philadelphia, and it's someplace in some terrible part of town, and people are always laying there like drug addicts, and people turn to me and they say, "Where are you from?" My husband does not say New Jersey for some reason. He says Philadelphia. And the first thing they say is, "Oh my God, is this as bad as it looks?" Because there's one stupid thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I really liked string bands. Fascinated me. Grew up a little bit. Discovered that women weren't supposed to be in string bands. Women weren't also supposed to be scientists. I was counseled in high school to be a nurse because I was a smart woman. And I'm like, what? I can't stand blood. I'm not really fond of throw up or urine, or no. Anyway, I wanted to be a scientist as well.
We're right there with you on that.
Well,
Yeah.
It's one thing where you have your kids. After that, no.
Women weren't supposed to be scientists. They weren't supposed to be in string bands. Well, there wasn't any string bands down Baltimore, hon. That wasn't the problem. I went on, became a scientist. That was great and everything. The point of this story is, fast forward for 47 years after I graduated from college. Do either one of you remember what happened on May 1st, 2021?
Yes.
Okay, go. This is
We
great.
danced out in front of the library in Washington Township.
You did dance out in front.
okay.
It was... The
It was
library
our
was
first
opening.
job after COVID.
It was the first job after COVID. Yes, you are. And
We helped Washington Township reopen up their library right there on Delsey Drive, right
Right.
by the park there, by us, by the skating rink, the ice rink
Yeah.
right there.
you have a really good memory. You're a smart man.
Yeah.
I don't think I was there for that job.
No,
It was a Saturday morning. You might not
you
have.
were
I was
not
probably
there.
not there yet,
I
'cause
didn't
I
remember who
worked
was
nights.
there.
You were working second shift, so you probably
was
only had
probably-
about
No.
2 hours of sleep at that point.
I didn't know who the people were. I know who they are now. But
We danced though out front.
you and I danced.
Yes, we
and
did.
I was in love with you.
Yep.
And still am. full disclosure, my husband was there.
Yes. Doc, you're safe. Promise.
But the point of all this is, I'm a real geek. I go to that library all the time. It's my library, and there was this string band dancing in front of my library. It was a perfect day. So I was just fascinated, and there was women in it, and I remember Katrina swirling around and her skirt coming out, and she was playing saxophone, and I remember Steve Boom Boom playing, and the bug outfits, and I was just in love. So I came up and I begged somebody, I'm not exactly sure who I was begging to join the band. It might have been you. I probably begged 3 or 4 people, come to think of it.
You talked to me, and I think I sent you over to either my mom or Bob.
Yeah, I think I talked to your mom, and then I talked to Bob.
Yep.
Begged to join the band.
We told you come on out.
Yeah, come on out.
Didn't have to beg.
It's simple.
Well, I didn't know I didn't have to beg.
Yeah.
This is actually is an important part of the story. I didn't have to beg, but
No.
I begged. So it's like, okay, I play clarinet, but I think that kind of counts.
Yeah.
So you're like, yep, that's fine.
Agreed.
It had been 47 years since I played my clarinet. Now, getting back to being born in 1952, so I'm an old person. So I have played music semi-professionally my whole life. I was in a recorder group. It's a little different than playing a string band because we played mostly Renaissance music. We played semi-professionally and made a lot of money. But then we always put the 2 soprano players out in front because they had these big brown eyes, and we had Renaissance costumes, and you put the basket out. We played all the Renaissance festivals and everything. So that group kind of shut down because we all got old, and I had this void in my life. And music is such a special, special thing.
Yeah.
It is a communion when you sit down and you play in a music group and you're all in tune and you're playing the same music. You are one. Everybody becomes one. It's emerging into one item. It's a magical thing to me that I miss terribly in my life. So when I joined the string band, very different, very, very different than being in a Renaissance band with 5 other women. I had this communion back, by the way. And
Well, we're glad. We're glad you came out.
But the reason why I'm going on about all this is a wonderful, wonderful way. I'm now retired, so I have the luxury to do things that I love and can still do. And this is a great way for a retired person to really reintroduce themselves to this wonderful area of playing with a group and playing in music. And I remember, I showed up the first day of my clarinet, had no embouchure, could play music. Got better. So I finally got good enough. I played my first parade was actually
Yeah, we
Glassboro.
made you a bug.
And I was a bug. I was so excited I was a bug.
Made you a bug.
I was
Memorial
so
Day?
excited to be a bug.
Yeah,
And
she
loved
was
the
Memorial
costume.
Day.
It was Memorial Day. And I marched and I played my clarinet and at tenor music. B flat instruments, cool. And afterwards, my husband said to me, I've never seen you look happier. Now, my husband and I have been together for a long, we've been together a long time. We've been together 48 years. And I said, honey, I don't think I've ever been happier. So, he got it. He's not in the band, but he knows it's a passion. But, if you're retired and you play an instrument and you want to have fun, string band is one way to do it, because not only do you play, but you can claim it's exercise.
Yeah.
That marching is exercise.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. Anytime you march, anytime you can say, "Well, I just did a 1.5 mile parade," or a 1/4 mile parade.
Yeah.
How many people go out and walk a 1/4 mile a day, or a 1/3 mile a day? I don't.
Well,
I should.
I do walk every day, but
Yeah,
my
I
husband
walk.
followed me up to one of our first boardwalk parade. No, it was Doodah. I love the Doodah parade.
Yeah.
My favorite parade, by the way. And he came along because it's the Doodah parade, and I always wanted to be in a Doodah parade. I was so excited. So he came along, and he was, snapping pictures and everything. At the end, he was like, he says, I'm out of breath. I couldn't stay with you. It's like, well, you should try playing a saxophone and marching. It is really good exercise.
Yes.
But anyway, it's been a lot of fun. Got a new family. We got little groups here. I got new friends. Music is great. The only other thing I wanted to say, you probably have questions, but
Oh, we absolutely have questions.
we have many questions for
We
you.
always have many questions.
But it's joyful music. So, I mean, if you're feeling sad, you can't play this music and be sad. It's happy music.
And if you are sad, by the time you're done playing it, you're happy.
Well, it depends upon how much in pitch everybody is, but most of the time
And the
I'm
temperature outside.
well, yeah, there's the temperature thing. That's another aspect to throw on top of the music and the friends and the marching. But yeah, anyway, that's my story. I just wanted to say, for people that are older that want to get into something really cool, they ever played an instrument, you should consider joining the string band on this side of the Delaware, because it is a freaking hoot.
A hoot.
It's a hoot.
Yes.
That should be our logo. Or our
Podcast.
not logo. Why can't I think of it right now?
It's okay. I'll come back.
Slogan.
Slogan. There you go.
I'm the senior. I'm the one who can't remember things. Remember?
What? Remember what?
Huh?
What? Huh?
It's Jersey String Band. It's a freaking hoot.
At Jersey String Band, it's a freaking hoot. Deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually like that.
I can see an Al theme coming up.
So anyway, I'm sorry I had to tell my life story, but
No, that's fine.
No, no, no.
It's just
This
so cool to be in a string band, and it came together for me, guys.
Well, we're glad you're here. You're glad you're part of us.
We're glad. Yeah, we're glad fate took you to the library that day.
It
Yeah.
was meant to be.
Meant to be.
Absolutely.
So we talked about you started as clarinet, and you have since moved on from the clarinet to.
Oh, okay. I started as clarinet back, and I have a long bunch of instruments I play. I mean, I like to mention the recorder, quarter music, and chrome voice. But in this group, I started with the clarinet, and it was lovely. But, I was kind of an outlier, and you couldn't hear me. So Pat came up, and I would do anything for Pat. He says, I want you to play saxophone. So actually, this is another part of the journey, because as a senior person, I had to learn how to play a new instrument. Well, it's easier than learning Spanish. That's what they tell you to do when you're old. It's like, take up a hobby that'll use your mind. So it's like, cool, I can do that. So didn't have a sax. Karina loaned me her tenor sax, and didn't have anybody to talk to, so I was self-taught myself. I got the finger chart and learned how to play the sax. Well, the embouchure is quite different, and did play the tenor sax. So the second year, I guess maybe it might have been, let's see now. It was the second year I played tenor.
You played tenor 2 years, right?
I played tenor for 2 years, and I played tenor last year as well.
Yeah.
And I could play it this year for the show if you wanted me to. I just can't march with it.
No,
What-
we already have plans in place for tenor.
well, if you're
we
okay.
need you on third this year.
Okay, well, I can play anything. Yeah.
That part, the way it's being written,
Yeah.
the third, you might have a modified third part. Let's put it that
Well,
way.
I need more. I can sight read really well. I'm a good musician.
Well, we'll have time to practice.
We don't need to practice. I can usually sight read, but tenor was a great part. I love the tenor, but what
just
I
a heavy
discovered
instrument.
was it's a big instrument, and I am like this little old lady. And then for some reason, the lyre came out to here. It was this funny lyre. So when I marched, it was like
Wow.
this. So it's like, that's not going to work for me. So the secret was to memorize the music, which I did. So even when it was doing this, I had the music memorized. But then it was so big, and I'm just not the person I used to be. You should have seen me when I was 30. Anyway, I switched to alto and started taking some lessons, and discovered all these things I was doing wrong. So I'm still taking lessons, and it's been a lovely journey, actually. I take lessons at Cole Music from Joe Madeira. He's a wonderful man. He's just a brilliant man, and
Yeah, good people over there.
What's that?
Good people over there.
Good people. So I can do all this stuff with the fingers. It's all about the embouchure. It's really about breathing. You were talking about breathing. It's breathing. Everything is about breathing. So now I'm becoming a better alto player, And I'm enjoying it because you know what? I always wanted to play saxophone. And when I was growing up, we couldn't afford a saxophone. So this has been yet another really cool thing.
Yeah.
So now I play saxophone, but I'll play anything you want me to. I don't think I can do banjo because I don't think I can do that thing you're doing with your fingers. That looks too weird. But woodwind.
Yeah, you called me downstairs before we started. I was working. I was doing my exercise on chord changes.
Yeah.
So there's
I
was going through my different chords down there. So yeah, I try to find time to practice when I can, and and that's part of the deal. That's part of the deal with anything. It's not just coming to rehearsal and practice. You have to practice at home. You got to practice at different times and do different things all the time to get things going. So.
There's a commitment. I try to practice every day, at least 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It's probably better to play 10 minutes a day than 60 minutes the day before you have to perform, because it keeps you. It also keeps you focused on the music, and. The one thing I wish everybody took the music home and learned it, because when you get together in a group, it's not the time to learn the notes. It's the time to listen to each other.
It's the time to practice what you learned.
And to pitch yourself and learn the music, because the music is not the notes.
Yes.
The music is
the blend.
The blend, the whole thing.
The chord.
All together.
Well,
it's
the
chord.
Story, actually.
Yeah.
It's the musical story.
Yeah, you're playing one note of the entire chord.
Now, I'm
so
gonna
each different part of this, each different part, whether you're playing third, first, tenor,
it's the whole painting.
It's the whole painting put together.
Yep.
At the risk of sounding like a sycophant, which occasionally I am, you do a great job as captain. When you line us up, this is actually an art. He lines us up, and he listens to see the voices are coming out. Now, I can't help but notice I always get put in the back line because I'm like a new person, and sometimes I miss notes. But you make sure the voices are lined up and blended exactly right.
Now, the reason I put you back there is because I can hear you. And if I put you up front sometimes, not everybody plays with the same pitch and amateur. And so some people, you could honestly, if I put you, to be honest with you, I'm be straightforward with you. If I put you up front, you will sometimes drown out other people.
Well, I'm glad to be in the back only because.
But you fill the whole. If you notice where you're at.
Yeah, I think. But I finally understood what you were doing in terms of blending the sound together, and also.
I'm also blending suits too at the same time.
Yeah, I noticed that. It's finally like, oh wait, I got it. And also, I can hear Eric call it better. I have a little trouble hearing him call it.
Yeah.
And that's my biggest problem is just hearing him call it, and I can get to it. But he's been doing a great job of calling the music, and I like it because he kind of calls it sequentially. This one here, and then flip it over, and that one there. He's really great.
Oh, and that works with having our uniform flip books and stuff like that. Makes life easier. But we try. And honestly, I mean, sometimes I'll line everybody up and I'll make 4 or 5 changes. We'll like, all right, I need another song.
I appreciate that.
And I'll sit there and I'll move things around, and just like some days are easier than others.
From like I said, we've said this before in here, but for me being up front, when there'd be I can tell. I'm like something's wrong. Like I don't have the wherewithal to understand what's going wrong back there. But then he'll move someone. Even if they're like this, and they go like this.
I know, and it's better.
And
it's
then
an
like
art.
we
I
play
know.
the same song, and I'm like, oh, that's a lot better.
No, I'm saying I get it. It took me a while to watch him and figure this out, but when I got it, it's like.
It took me a while to learn how to do it too.
No, you're great.
But it took me a little bit to get there.
Well, you're my hero because I told you this sounds bad, but I would never suck up to you if I thought, well, I'm being positive, but you are a great leader because
thank
you always have that smile. You got the worst costume in terms of the heat. We've done fire and rain. Let's be honest in those costumes, and you're up there always smiling. People love you and they dance with you. And there's been a couple parades I was kind of worried about you, and yet when audience forward, when you're on the stage, man, you're smiling and happy. And I wish everybody in the group was smiling and happy like that, because one thing I learned early on in my career playing music is if you screw up, just keep smiling. People are thinking you're improvising, and don't frown and don't go like this. And whatever you do, don't say, Oh, well, I heard something you said once.
Yeah.
We don't say that
There's-
anymore. No.
Yeah.
It was just that one time we forgot the music.
Yeah,
And I was surprised. It's like, there are children
There's,
here.
yeah, I mean, going back to that, we had this.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
We
That
had.
was
Thank God for Staples.
I'm trying to. I'm trying to move past that.
That was great, man. It's like, okay, what's plan B? And you're like, no, I got it. And I remember saying to you, we only need one song to play a parade. We just
All
play
right, maybe
it.
we should give some context about this then. Now that we're talking about it,
Okay, so we have flip books.
we were going towards a job down ashore, right?
We were going to Wildwood.
We were going to Wildwood.
We were coming up to Cape May Courthouse, and we realized, I left the music on the front seat of my truck
For the whole band.
for the entire band.
Right.
And we had no music. So luckily, we've been scanning and copying stuff to our Google Drive, and we stopped at a Staples in Cape May Courthouse, and $20 later we had music for everybody.
It was brilliant. It's like it's
Three of us went inside. I said, everybody else stay on the bus.
Yeah.
Three of us went on side and go, okay, you're printing this one, you're doing this one. And as quickly as we're taking them, we're sitting them, we're cutting them in there. They had scissors. We were sitting there, I think, 10, 15 minutes, and we're back on the road.
We weren't late for the parade, and
No.
it was seamless. Again,
Everybody had their New Year's flip book in their cases, because
Yep.
we told everybody keep your New Year's flip book in there because we don't supply the New Year's flip book. So there was we had our street songs from New Year's
Yep,
in there,
yep.
and we flew a couple other ones over top of it.
no,
And
just
we
it
made
was a
it
great
work.
recovery. And honly, it's because
Planning ahead.
You're quick thinking and going to Plan B. I mean, you're good.
Well, the good thing is the Ericssons have copied everything down. So
That's true.
I
I know.
It's just the fact that we have access to all that stuff makes things easier.
Well-
I have access to all that stuff, and we have a Google Drive for the band that we can have access to. So
Well, it was great recovery. Anyway, I didn't mean to go. I'm sorry. Was that
No,
not
no,
positive?
no. This is.
now this is
a part of it.
I can promise you, we're
You never
not
know
the
where this is gonna
only
go.
band that has ever been in this situation.
You think?
Yeah,
Well, it's good to have this mistake.
no,
That way we don't have it again.
And the reason, it was,
well.
and part of the reason was,
And now it's always on. You got the music? Yes, you got the music right here. So,
Yeah, I always sort of like visually like we got the music.
But we always told everybody ahead of time that you never know what's going to happen. If I'm going to a combo job or we're going somewhere out, if I'm bringing the music, what if I get a flat tire? What if I'm
Yeah,
stuck in
yeah.
traffic? What if I can't get there for some reason?
Yeah.
Well, we have to have some music. So everybody had music in their flip books. And I think we used a couple different flip books just to see what we had. And we figured out what we had, and then we figured out what we needed, and we made it work. So, but we have a plan B and sometimes plan C, and sometimes there's stores that you got to stop at and do what you got to
Well, yeah, you're a good leader, and it's a good group. Everybody has their role.
And at most they're usually whatever parade or, unless it's like a combo job, there's usually the band there, so we can always maybe rely on them if something happens. But
Yeah, I'm sure. And honestly, and it has happened before with another group that they came to us and we were able to assist them. Although because that was the same thing. Their person with the music didn't show up. We had music. We were going to let them use it, but their person showed up literally just as they were getting ready to step off, so they were good. So, and it happens. Things happen. It happens all the time. We always try to work together, and it's not just me. We have a good leadership group of officers that
You do.
stand by, that
You
do
do.
with it. And it's a good thing because, we need somebody to keep me in reality and keep me in check.
Well, we got each other's backs. That's
Exactly.
a good group.
That's what the whole point of it.
Yeah, it's
Got to be
lovely.
It's our lovely family.
Yeah.
the lovely family.
Lovely family. You might bump heads every once in a while, but everything finalizes at the end.
Yeah. Sure.
Sure. Why not?
It all comes
all comes
together. It
together.
all comes together some way.
It does.
Yes. It's a hoot, right?
Yeah. A freaking hoot.
It's a freaking hoot.
We need an owl.
Huh?
We need an owl.
An owl?
An owl.
Hoot.
Oh, hoot. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
hoot.
yes. Oh, you can get we can get one of those owls that they put on like top of like buildings and stuff
To scare
to scare like the birds and stuff away.
Yeah.
And then we can like dress them up and stuff.
Put them in a purple tux.
So what? I guess.
You know, one thing I wanted to mention before we run out of time is...
We got
plenty of time.
I don't know how these things going on. But
You only have 10 minutes, but we can go as long as you want.
We're 25 minutes in, and we can go an hour.
We haven't even asked questions yet, so we're good. We got plenty
It's okay.
of time.
We got plenty. Don't worry about it. Just talk.
Oh, no, I forgot what I was going to say. It's been nice because I've been with this group now since, 2021. So I'm going to go with 3 years on this, right?
Yeah, 3 years plus.
I watched you evolve. It's been nice. We got new people. We're a little bit more streamlined in what we're doing. We have a little bit more
Structure.
structure. I was thinking, structure is a good word. And of course, we joined the string association, so that was a big step forward.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been very nice to watch the evolution as well as the group is building, which is very, very cool.
Now, say this group is here 50 years from now. We
Yeah.
were here for the first. We were here at the beginning.
We're at the
So how
level
about
where
that?
you joined the band as we were still crawling. We're getting up on our feet and we're starting to walk.
We're still in
So
diapers.
We're
and stuff.
still in diapers. We're still working our way there.
Still pooping our pants.
So we have our mistakes, we have our growing pains, and it's what it is. But we're getting better, and we have growth every single year. Not only our playing ability,
Yeah.
but also our musicians that are coming in, are different players.
It's been nice getting the musicians, and I just wanted to say this is not a static group. We're in a growth, and it's also been very gratifying to watch a group grow.
Well, you're part of that group.
Well-
You are honestly part of the growth of the band, because we needed you to come in. We need other people to come in. We still need more people to come in.
Well, we do need people to come in.
We always, and every group needs people to come in, but you have to constantly evolve. And constantly grow. I mean, we are one of the smallest groups on the street. We typically put 35 to 36 members on the street. Well, 35 is your minimum out there. It's 68, I think, is the max.
Something like that.
So we're not even, we're a little bit more than halfway of what we can be to max.
Well, I want this group to grow because I really like string bands. As I said, I liked them from the time I was a little girl and I could get on UHF, which is magic. And I'm afraid it's a dying genre, and I hope that it's not dying. I hope that Philadelphia keeps it and relishes it and understands it's something we can truly be proud of.
Absolutely.
And I'm especially happy that I was able, this is a gift to me, I was able to join a string group that's on this side of the Delaware, because I hate going into Philadelphia. I'm just not, I have a stick shift. Driving the city is just...
it's not fun.
It's too much for me. But this has been a gift, and I would think if anybody in this area of New Jersey wants to have a fun time and play an instrument at all, there's room.
Absolutely.
And I don't know who this goes to, probably just us. I hope other people watch it.
Oh,
but
they do.
No, we got a lot of people who watch this, and our
It's got reach.
Yeah, we more people are viewing it every week. So.
If it is outreach, I just can say it's been a real boost in my life. And not to get too personal, but I had this bout with cancer. It sort of made me take a look at what was important in my life and what I needed and what made me happy, if you will, on a day-to-day basis. And I needed the music group. The Susquehanna Consort had sort of fired down. The pandemic sort of messed up everybody.
Yeah.
So being able to join this music group is great. And if you're in South Jersey and you play an instrument, this is a fun, happy group.
Yes.
And I was surprised that nobody actually auditioned me, but they know how I play. You know how I play.
Yeah.
And the group is very forgiving and tries to encourage and very open and not too snotty about it either.
Yeah.
So it's really a great way to be a part of something bigger than yourself and have a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I've always said, and I told the TV guys this past year when we sat down and we talk, we take everybody no matter what your playing ability is. That's our goal. We want everybody to enjoy this hobby. And that's what it is. And we don't have a music test. We don't have any of that stuff there. We want you to come out and we want you to join. And we want you to enjoy this. And you know, I mean, yeah, we want everybody to do the best they possibly can. We will never put anybody in a position to embarrass themselves. But we don't discriminate. You know,
Well, anybody
who wants to come out and do this is supposed to make you happy. Telling somebody no, how's that make everybody happy? You know, I want to see the people smiling on the seats. I want to turn around when I turn around the band. I want to see them smiling.
Well, you know what? That's the other point I wanted to make. I actually wrote a little card half an hour before I came here of 4 points I wanted to make, and one of them was. And this is not the first group I performed with. I performed a lot of different groups. But when you look out and somebody's listening to you and smiling or dancing or clapping or happy, there's no feeling like that.
Oh, no, there's nothing.
And when you do a parade and people are just joyful.
Yeah.
It was just, there's nothing like that. That's the most incredible feeling to get that kind of response.
Yeah.
And even in my Renaissance group, us girls, we used to go up there and play Renaissance music at the Renaissance festivals. And these little girls would come up and just dance in front of us and have such joy. Such a joyful thing to watch
Makes
people
you feel
happy.
good.
It's There's nothing like it in the world.
Yeah.
So it's not just the internal playing music makes me happy. It's looking at everybody else being happy as you play the music.
Yeah.
What's the downside for that one?
None that I can think of. So
It's almost like an immediate return back. Like, you know, you're playing.
It's a positive response. Positive.
Yeah, you're playing something that's making someone smile, and then now you're watching that, and now it's making you happy.
That's called positive feedback.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's very Pavlovian.
Yeah. So.
Like who?
Yeah,
You know,
I graduated from West Denver High School, so.
You never heard of Pavlov's dog? Later. I'll
Later.
Okay.
Later, we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
I got that WD education.
Yeah.
We both do.
Yes, we do.
Anyhow, you talked about all the instruments you played. Mm-hmm. You want to name them? Let us know which ones from childbirth on up.
Does that include like the kazoo band I was in and stuff like that?
Yeah, kazoo.
Sure.
Oh, I like the
I will
kazoo
never
band.
discriminate the kazoo.
Well, we had the kazoo band once in college. So, I mean, mostly it was clarinet for a long, long time. Couldn't afford a saxophone. But then when I got out of school, I've been out of college for 50 years, moved to apartment, way too loud to play a clarinet. So I started playing recorder, and I connected up. And I had played in a recorder consort also in college. So I played in this recorder consort called the Susquehanna Consort for, well, up until the pandemic. So how many years is that? It was like, 45 years. So, but I played recorder and, all the different voices and soprano, tenor, alto. Alto was my main recorder. But cornemuse and crumhorn, which are buzzies, they're capped reeded instruments that you probably don't know unless you're into that kind of stuff. And then of course now I play saxophone, so tenor and alto saxophone. So that's really the gamut. And mostly I would characterize myself as a woodwind player.
Okay.
So,
What was one of your favorite suits that you've worn so far?
well, that's a tough one. I liked the bug suit a whole lot because it was plenty of money and I had the bug head. But I mean, I liked the bug suit, but I liked the plenty of money when we did
The casino theme?
casino theme, only because I can take that suit and paint my face green and go out and be Jim Carrey in The Mask.
That bright yellow suit.
The yellow
yeah.
suit, right?
The bright
Yeah.
yellow suit.
It's a zoot suit, so
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't had a lot of different costumes, but I did like that one.
I think the money suit was a great suit.
I love the plenty of money suit.
Yep.
What's your favorite theme?
Music or theme?
Theme that we've done as a band.
Well, you put that in the past tense. I'm actually pretty excited to see how this year turns out because the music is wonderful. My favorite theme. That's a tough question.
You're just looking forward to this one coming up, our spy
Yeah,
thing.
I mean, I've only done. They've all been wonderful for me.
Yeah.
So it's like, which child do you like best? It's like, no, I can tell you, but then the other children would be pissed off, so I'm not going to tell you. Yeah.
Well, good news is they're not going to complain. They're not going to.
That's true. They're not going to. Which child do you like best?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you know.
Yeah, don't worry. They're not going to. They usually don't talk too much about that.
Yeah.
What is one of your? I know you said the Doodah Parade was one of your ones you were looking for. So excited to do, but what is your favorite parade?
These questions are harder than you think.
This is what I wanted. Remember I said I wanted raw, organic.
Raw, organic.
Well, you know what? I think the Doodah is my favorite parade.
Yeah.
Only because the conceit of the Doodah Parade is so crazy.
Yes.
You know, and it's a good time of year. I mean, really, it's a parade that started. I guess it started in San Francisco, but then it has some local roots here in Glassboro and moved to where we do it now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's right at income tax season. It's the beginning of the spring. It's joyous.
Yeah.
I like the Doodah Parade.
Doodah Parade's a fun parade.
Yeah. And also, I can see that the biggest problem I have, remember I mentioned I'm an old person. I know it's hard to believe. Night parades are more challenging for me because not only can I see because I'm an old person, but it's dark and I can't see.
Yeah.
So I like daylight parades better than nighttime parades until I get all the alto music memorized. And after that, it's perfectly okay.
That works.
Yeah, night parade's a little goofy sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes sometimes you have more light than not. I mean, I've always said I love that. I love that the West Cape May Christmas Parade is one of my favorites.
The West Cape May Christmas Parade is a lovely parade. I understand why it's one of your favorites. It is a lovely parade.
Yes.
I can't argue with that.
There's just so many people there. That parade route is packed from start to finish.
Yeah.
So it's just you feed so much off that.
People
energy.
make the parade, whether it's
No, absolutely.
whatever kind of temperature it might be,
Absolutely.
or time
Right.
of day.
Yeah, it's so hard to do a parade and there's no one on the street.
Well, there's a lot to say for that parade. First off, it's a good time of year,
Yes.
and you're not roasting. There's a couple problems with being okay. Let's be positive. Sometimes it's very, very hot and you're wearing a costume, and sometimes it's very, very cold and you're wearing a costume that's not warm enough.
Yeah.
But it just turns out that particular parade, you're kind of comfortable.
Yeah, typically
Yeah.
typically you're
Yeah.
comfortable on that one. It's early enough in December where it's not too cold. But you're definitely not hot.
It's usually our last parade before.
And that's usually our last parade
Year's.
before we get ready for New Year's.
It
So
is a nice parade.
That's usually our retire. That's usually
Yeah.
when we retire our suits.
Yeah, that's a nice parade. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's always a fun. I enjoy that parade so much. So, but I mean, all of them. There's so much. All the parades are so much. Every parade has a little different personality.
Yeah, every parade does have a different personality, and it's very exciting that tension right before you start, and you don't know what's going to be like. It's very exciting. Every parade is very exciting to me, and I've not done any professional sports. I've been a musician. Husband laughs at me because I was in the marching band and he was the athlete, but. I get that sense of I'm here for the game right before every parade, and it's very, very exciting.
Yeah,
A little
definitely
adrenaline.
on New Year's. It's that feeling
Yeah.
before you're in the staging area, and then you see the lights come on, and you know you're next.
Huh. It's so funny. My first New Year's, I very much concentrated on not looking at the lights or anything. I mean, I've done a lot of performing. Just do it the way you did it when you're practicing. And the other good advice is do it till you can't do it wrong, no matter what. So just went up there and did it the same way. I mean, I was scared to death. Went up there and just did it the same way I did when I was practicing. Didn't look at the lights, didn't pay any attention to anything. And I remember Steve turning to me afterwards going, well, what'd you think, Susan? It's like, I don't know.
It was over before you could process it.
I didn't pay any attention to it. I just tried to hit my mark. Don't be bedazzled by anything around you.
Don't get overwhelmed.
Just do your job. Go in there.
Yeah,
Just the way you practice it. Do your job. Hit your mark.
That's why I always say, like, I don't remember any of the performances because that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, me too.
I don't remember any of them.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember.
I'm just kind of in the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember
then,
little parts, but that's about it.
like this past year. I just remember looking at the clock. It was like 4:16 or something like that. I'm like, oh, we got to keep going. We got to go.
Well, you're tough. You're the one that has to move off because you're in the front line, and you're the one that has to start beating off when that clock gets close. So the pressure's all on you.
Well, now they changed things around a little bit this year, so we don't have as much pressure. So there's a little bit more time to get out, which we will explain more as we get toward drill. But no, there's a little. It's before. They changed things a little bit with the clock this year. Still have 4.5 minutes to perform. We just don't have to like run to get out before 4.5 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing. That way we get a chance to enjoy the cheers.
Well, one of the things I liked about last year's parade was I was just coming off of COVID, and I wasn't really very good. I got to sit in the bus. We were like the last one, so I just sat in the bus until it was time to do it. I mean, we did several rehearsals out, which was good because we were still getting our act together. It came together at the very end for that one.
Yeah, well, everybody had the challenges, but we had rain really challenged
But everybody
us.
had rain. I mean, it wasn't just us. It was all the string bands had rain.
The proper practicing in areas that are smaller than your drill area doesn't make it exactly easy to learn your drill properly because you end up bumping into people and stuff like that. But we made it work.
Yeah.
And I mean, even though we did get last, we did improve.
Oh, we were great.
We did great.
I see. Now, I don't get that thing about we came in last.
Hey, y'all.
Yeah.
That's somebody's assessment of us. I think we did great.
And I
the
agree with you
music
100%.
was great. We looked great. We are what we are, and I'm very, very proud of us. And
absolutely.
And I don't want to hear people saying we came in last.
Yeah. The music score is higher every year.
When we look at our music score, the one judge that did music gave us 11th place. He's one of the judges that have been doing this for many, many years.
Yeah.
We've done symposiums with him. He's very, very knowledgeable what he did. For him to put us in 11th place music playing sent me over the moon because that was just talking with him, listening to him talk about how he looks at the stuff. That's what means the most to me. When someone like that is looking at you and they go, "That's my 11th place band for music."
The music was great.
Yeah.
Now I tell you what,
and we worked very, very hard on our music. We were doing every Wednesday. We did music, just music only.
We did music only,
and we did a lot longer than we normally do.
And we had Rick come in.
We had Rick come in,
and he was great, and he really buffed us up.
Yes.
And the music was great. I was very, very. That was a large step. That was a quantum step for the band, I think.
And with a little bit of John Winega helped us with as well.
John was great. John came in and he's a sweet man, and everybody will listen to him. He's a phenomenal musician. Yeah. Just even knowing John has been enriching for me. Yes. So to really bring him to bear on the band and to work with us. It really was, as I say, it was a quantum leap as far as I'm concerned because the music was so much better last year.
Oh yeah, and you can just tell the difference that the music had, sound-wise. It was so much the sound of the music that the music playing. We played at a higher rate than we have before.
Well, there was two aspects. First off, it was harder music.
Yes,
it was more sophisticated music, and second off, we played it much better.
That's correct.
And so it was better music that was much more symphonic, if you will, and really turned out well. I mean, I was really, really proud of the way it sounded. Yeah. I was very, very happy to be a part of that performance.
Yep. So, and we're gonna have Rick here with us again, working us with our music.
Well, I'm very excited about this year's music. Yeah. I am very excited
for what we've heard so far. It's gonna be fun.
The biggest problem I have is I'll leave the rehearsal, and then I'll have this earworm for 3 days.
Yeah.
It's like, get Secret Agent out of your mind. Oops, did I say that?
I think that's
That's
probably a given.
That's a given song.
if they know spy themes, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Oh, so you're not gonna. I'm sorry.
Maybe not. No more.
No more name dropping, but that's okay.
But that's probably a given that we might be playing that song.
Yeah,
Nobody even knows it. I'm the person old enough in the whole band to remember.
I don't know. I know that song.
I know that song too.
I watched it on television. One of those 3 channels I used to get.
Great.
And the UHF channel.
Yes.
It was
17.
17. Yeah. So,
ironic,
what
isn't
are your
it?
other questions?
Well, you were
Bring it
one of the lucky ones that were selected when we did that massive group for the WWE.
Yep.
They did not know your name, but they knew who you were,
Yeah, I bet.
and they said,
Could be a good thing.
That's
"Well,
good
they
thing.
didn't know your name. They just go the white hair lady playing third
Yeah,
alto. We
yeah,
want
yeah.
her."
Yeah.
So I mean, it was just like, okay, that's Susan. And then they're like, well, is she? How she sounded really good there. How is she? I'm like, well, John Winega likes her. Perfect, good. You're good to go.
I am a good musician.
You're an
I'm
amazing
not-
musician.
I'm
Yeah.
not bragging. I wanted to be a music major,
No,
but I realized.
listen. I'm bragging on
We're giving you praise here.
I'm
You're
bragging
giving
on
me
you.
praise.
Yes.
Oh, that's a turnaround.
So,
Yeah.
and it's not just blowing smoke. I mean, you were one of the people they asked for that event.
I was duly honored,
So-
and that was also a total hoot. You know,
Oh, you looked awesome. I just remember them. I remember watching it at home, and they did the camera shot from behind.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you were in the back, and I
Yeah.
could just see you dancing away. I'm like, Susan's having a ball. She's wearing the yellow suit.
Yeah, it was great. It was interesting. I've done some interesting things in my life. Interesting things. That was very interesting. I've
Yes.
never paid for 75,000 people before.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Well, hold on. It wasn't just 75.
it was the world. I know.
There was millions
Millions
of
of
people
others, yeah.
seeing you around the world at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's to me that's amazing. I'm jealous on that one.
Yeah.
Well, it was an interesting experience. I'm glad I did it. I felt bad about it when I was selected because so many other people wanted to do it so badly, and it's like.
No, you were one of the people they wanted.
But I was duly honored, by the way,
Yeah.
and
You were on the list of people they wanted.
well, that was cool.
So, like I said, they had people. I mean, trust me, I wanted to do it, but there was no way I was doing it and not sending other people to it. You know, I know Alex definitely wanted to do it. I mean, me and him used to watch wrestling all the time. So we used to have watching parties. Remember, we used to do the watching parties at Mom's.
Yeah.
We would do for the
Pay-per-view.
the pay-per-view ones.
Well, here's a secret I don't want my husband to know, which is why I'm saying it on a podcast.
Don't worry, he can't see this. It's only on YouTube.
Nobody gets that.
Yeah, no one has access to that.
Well, I used to closet watch wrestling, and I used to closet watch House as well about the medical doctor.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, okay.
So those are my 2 closet watches that he doesn't know about. So, but I did like the wrestling because it's like ballet. I mean, it's just
It's a soap opera.
It's a soap opera, but it's quite physical.
Oh, absolutely.
They're all athletes.
you
They're
guys weren't
amazing
there.
athletes.
Yeah, but when
You'll throw your body around like that?
oh my
So, who
God.
was your favorite wrestler?
Well, it has to be Seth now because I played his theme no matter what. And he came down. Oh my God, that man is so beautiful. This is a woman's perspective. He came down and met with us, nicest guy alive, and he was putting his mummer's costume on
Yeah.
because he came out. If you recall, he came out as a mummer,
Yeah.
and he was just so sweet, and he was so good looking, such a handsome man, and he was so nice. And then afterwards, we were all leaving. It was very interesting, just even walking around the arena because, of course, the arena is sort of round. It's probably geoid shaped, come to think of it, but. On the inside, they have all these stations, and people have sewing machines where they're fixing costumes, and and there was makeup artists, and they're putting makeup on and everything. So when we're walking around to leave after the whole show is over, there's Seth, and he's holding like ice up on his eye because he got kicked in the face. I mean, you do get hurt.
Yeah, you did get.
And he was still like, fist bumping us as we were leaving. He was just what a sweet man. So he very handsome man. So I guess I'd have to say he's my favorite now for life. That and the fact that I, da 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 da.
Yeah.
Talk about earworms.
Earworms, yeah.
Yeah. But the other nice thing about that performance was we all got together on the parking lot and just played some stuff.
Yeah.
And
Some of those videos are out there.
just
That
an
they put out.
amazing sound. Everybody was perfectly in pitch. Everybody knew their part. There was a whole bunch of us, so it was big. I don't know how many there was altogether, but
75 altogether, and the whole principle behind that band was they were trying to pick the cream of the crop. Let's put it that way. So they're trying to from each
I see
band.
what you did there.
Yeah.
The cream of the crop.
Yeah.
the cream. I didn't quite understand.
Randy Macho Man Savage. He
Yeah.
used to say that.
Oh,
he's
okay.
a wrestler.
All right, gotcha. I see what you did there.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
All right.
Snapping those Slim Jim.
but yeah, I also stole about 200 Slim Jims, by the way. Put it in my saxophone case. And I got home. It's like
They probably
my
all had
husband-
Randy. They probably all had Randy Savage on them.
No, there were Slim Jims everywhere because
Yeah.
the one that. So I mean, it was.
They were a
prob-
sponsor for years.
There was probably only 20, but probably only 20 Slim Jims. But I got home. It's like, hey, baby, look at this. I got Slim Jims for us. But
You went to a wrestling match and came home with Slim Jims.
why not?
Yeah,
But
could
when
be
we
worse
played
things.
on the parking lot, the sound was just playing with that group and that sound and just the way it was a perfect moment.
Yeah.
It was so strong. And everybody was in tune, perfectly pitched. The music sounded great. It's like, boy, this is wonderful. It was wonderful. The
Yeah.
cream of the crop to play with that
Even
group.
that practice.
That practice with
Monday
that
before,
200 and
whatever
some
it was.
people. That was
Yeah, that was a little dicey. There was so many people in that small
Yeah.
area. Yeah.
sounded
But
good. Though.
but to your point, probably with all everything together like that, it the right parts.
yeah.
Yeah.
I can imagine what that was.
Yeah, yeah.
You probably felt it in your chest when a big band like that comes together. It feels you can actually feel it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I could tell you the physics of that if you want to know. Seriously, about vibrating your organs at certain frequencies. I'll tell you about that later. That was dog.
Yeah, we won't go there. Let's
Save that for a bus ride. For
Yes,
one of
that would be a
one of
bus
our-
Actually, it's a very interesting story. Well, I'll tell
can
you about
imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll touch on that later. So let's see here. What we have our normal questions that we hit. Parade. Suit,
Suit.
theme.
What's your favorite mum song that we play, or in general?
Oh,
Maybe not what we play, but that you've heard.
well, no one knows which is your favorite children, but I really always like Papa John's. I don't know why.
Papa Joe. Papa Joe.
Papa Joe. Papa Joe. Papa Joe.
Papa Joe.
Papa
Papa
John's.
Papa
is a
John's.
pizza.
Papa John's
Joe.
stuffed crust pizza.
It's Papa Joe's creep. But okay,
I
I'm an
do
old
like-
person. All right.
You're thinking pizza.
No, I don't eat pizza. Papa Joe.
Papa Joe. That's
Pop-
your favorite to play?
No, I didn't say that. I said it was my favorite song.
Well, that's the next question.
What's your favorite to play?
When
I know,
when it
we got
gets-
the hard questions here.
When it gets called
More
out
hard
at
hitting.
practice or maybe a
Yeah.
job or something, you're like, all right, yes,
Playing on tenor or playing on alto?
okay.
Both.
Well, I'm going to be smarty. You're going to be smarty back, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see now. Yeah, that's kind of a tough one.
Okay. Okay.
I'm going to pass on that because I can't dig them out. But
Is there a song that you dread playing?
Oh,
That's even better.
is there a song that I dread?
Winter
playing?
Wonderland is for me.
Oh,
No, I can't stand.
I love Winter
I
Wonderland.
can't stand that one.
I can't stand the Indian one.
Oh,
Cherokee?
Cherokee. I can't stand Cherokee.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Cherokee either.
I find it annoying and trite.
Yeah.
It's a drummer song. That's why the drummers like it.
I know the drummers like it, right?
But-
What about the polkas, like the beer barrel polka or the Pennsylvania polka? Do you like playing them?
I love the polkas.
Polkas
Yeah.
are great.
I love
They're fun.
polkas. I love polkas a lot. I actually, once in a while, I'll grab the first alto part and play the first alto part polkas just for fun. There are some great. Some of the paces I like best are actually first alto, which I sort of closet play when nobody's around, just because it's the cool part of the music. But tenor is great because tenor is a good part. Tenor's
Yeah.
probably better than alto 3, although alto 3 is complimentary. So I can come up with the ones I hate, but not the ones I like the best. Isn't that funny?
That's okay.
That's okay. You know, it's not always about. There's nothing wrong with liking all the songs, or liking what we play. You know, that's a good thing because I mean,
Yeah.
you're playing what you like. But sometimes there's always something that's just like, oh, why do we got to play that song?
Yeah, Winter Wonderland.
I love Winter Wonderland.
I got no
See,
problems with Winter Wonderland.
See, the thing with Winter Wonderland, and I've told you this before,
It's not a banjo song. It's not a string song.
It's not a string song.
because you're
right.
like,
but it's a song that the captain needs to relax to, because you can't go goofy on that one.
Well,
You can't go insane on that one. It's a nice stroll.
okay, well, let's talk about this. There's some songs that are marching songs.
Yes.
Yeah.
And some songs are serenade songs.
Yeah.
And near the twain shall meet. I mean, we do a lot of serenade songs, which are absolutely lovely, which you'd never march to.
Yeah.
But they're lovely songs.
Absolutely.
And some of my favorites are serenade songs.
Yep.
Which works out well because, when you're marching, you got to, deal with the physical part of marching and playing. So,
Oh, absolutely. Because there's certain songs that are just either written too fast or written too slow,
Right.
that you can't march to.
exactly.
And
Winter Wonderland.
And
They-
Winter Wonderland is probably one of
Winter-
those hard to march to songs. Exactly, to your point.
it's a nice strolling song. It is a slower song. I don't argue that. And it's probably better to be played standing still. But
Agreed.
I always like it
Or not
as
at
a
all.
nice strolling song, especially when you got to walk up a hill. And you're
well,
hot. and
you
you're-
got to walk up a hill.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Yeah. Captains outrule you. Pull rank every once in a while. So, although kissing.
I like the
mamas-
way sometimes you pull rank and we play Blanket of Blue because that's your favorite song.
I like one of that. That was one of my.
That's a very nice song.
Yeah, that's nice.
That was one of my songs that from my first year as captain.
Yeah, but you call that out and it's like, well, that's a nice song.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Especially when you have when you have your 3 accordions there,
yes.
and you
yes.
have to have all the parts though.
Yes, that's a great accordion song.
That's a great accordion song. It's a great It's a great. You have to have your tenors. You have to have your accordions. You got to have all the parts. And when you have all the parts, that song just sounds so nice. And our very first year in 2020, that was our whole line song.
Yeah.
So when we walked up to the whole line,
Yep.
we played that.
That's
there.
lovely.
And that was just one of those songs that's just like, okay, I'm happy with this. We sounded good.
Yeah, I get it. I get
It
that's
has
why
that classic feel to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the classic Mummers feel.
Yeah.
Without being Alabama or
Yes.
Scrap Iron or, those kind of.
It highlights all the parts of the band.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a good.
It's not an alto one only song.
Yeah.
So that's the fire alarm.
It's the fire alarm that goes.
I was going
off
to say
every
it
now
doesn't sound like it's in my head, but I don't know where it's coming from.
Yeah.
and then. It's like those hearing tests. Remember you used to get?
Yeah, that's what it sounded like. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what else? Do we got anything else? I think we hit a lot of things.
We did. I think we're good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize the questions were going to be so hard. I would have
No,
done.
they're not that hard.
Well, I do have some favorite songs. I'm going to be laying in bed tonight going, damn, why did I say Alabama?
Well, the nice thing is when we post this up on there, just add your favorite songs in the comment section.
That's funny. Yeah.
So and put anybody else have favorite songs? Throw them up on there
Yeah.
too.
What's your favorite mum song?
Yeah, put that up in the comments as well.
What's your favorite mum song? That's good. Yeah. Well, anyway, this has been a joy. I was just dying to tell you about how I always loved the Mummers when I was a little girl. It was just meant to be. It was karma.
And it's such a different way that anybody else would kind of, be introduced to the Mummers.
Yeah, I'm saying I came in way from the outside being a bald
Yeah.
moron. And,
Oh! Do you do the O when you do the
yeah, I do.
the national anthem?
Yeah, I've tried to actually eliminate my bald moron accent, though. And now I sound like I'm from South Philly. So
They're
that's
very close. They are close. And, well, there's aspects of it. Even like the Pittsburgh accent, there's aspects of the two. It's kind of weird.
Anyway, It's really cool. I'm happy to be a mama. I'm very, very proud of that.
Well, we're happy to have you here.
Michael's very proud of it too. He tells everybody. I mean, it's almost embarrassing me. We'll meet somebody I haven't seen for a while, and he'll pull
He's
out.
just trying to hype you up. That's all.
This is what my wife does.
Yeah, I know, but it's like,
Go around somewhere with my mom.
He's trying to show you off.
Yeah, I know, but it's like
You've been out with my mom before.
not a bad
How many
thing.
times has Mama come up with my mom?
Every single time.
Well, I mean,
And she has every right to be proud. She has,
every right. I mean,
She does it. Her kids do. All three of her sons do it. Her grandsons do it.
Every time we go over there, there's pictures of one of us,
I know.
someone from
Yeah.
the band on
Yeah.
on the table that she just went off a snapfish and
Well,
got.
she spawned all these musicians. She should be damn proud, and she is.
Yes.
And some of these musicians have had children that are also musicians. They should be damn proud, and they are. So it's a family thing. So it's lovely.
It's
it
nice.
Truly is.
We're glad to have you in our family as well.
Well, I feel like I'm in a family. We have our ups and we have our downs.
Yep.
That's right.
So
That's how it's supposed to be.
it's how it's supposed to be.
Well, thank you. This was great fun. Do you have any other questions?
No, I think we're good. I think we can shut it down.
I think we got everything here. I think we hit. You hit. See,
you gave us so much more than I thought we were.
you gave us so much at the beginning, and like honestly, that was really cool because we had a whole
Yeah.
story from you for the beginning of the show.
Well, I was dying to tell you about.
Oh, you could tell. Yeah, it was
This
great.
is why
It was
I'm
great.
dying to talk to you about what this is to me and how I found you. And
Yeah.
Well, now the world knows, and it's out there, and we can always. It's always out there now.
well, I hope other people might consider joining this band because it's a hoot.
Yeah,
It's a hoot.
It's a
Freakin' hoot.
It's a freaking hoot, actually. But
I see that as the title of this show.
And it might be. And if there's anything that you forget, we'll take a break from doing this, but then we'll start it back up sometime next year, and we can always have you back on
sweetie.
if you forget anything or want to add something.
I'm 71. I probably forgot half of what it was I should have said. But
Well, good thing
Don't
is
worry. When you fall asleep tonight, you'll think all about it.
good thing is it's recorded and you can always go back to it.
Yeah, how about that?
How about that?
Yeah.
Well,
Susan,
gentlemen, great
thank
fun.
you.
Thank you very much
Thank
for
you,
letting me be
Susan.
a part of this. And
Absolutely.
It's always fun to have you on the bus rides and all your insight on everything. It's always a good time.
my insight on everything.
Yeah. Like the organs you were going to tell me about.
Yes.
Well,
You'll still learn about that. Don't worry.
yeah,
about
you'll
that.
still learn about that. That's actually very interesting
Yes.
physics.
Yes.
You ever notice when you stand in front of a bass speaker and you can feel it?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll talk about how many hertz it takes to blow up your guts if you want to know that.
Okay. That sounds interesting. On that note,
We'll end the conversation right there.
Thank you,
Although we'll
Susan,
have questions to
again.
ask about that.
thank you
Okay.
very much.
Great fun.
Like, subscribe, do all you got to do. Till next time, bye.
Bye.
See ya. Da, 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 da.